From calculators and worksheets to multimedia articles, infographics and emails, interactive content is commanding the attention of today's B2B buyers and savvy marketers alike. Why? Because it does an awesome job of breaking through the clutter and positioning your brand in their minds. Here are some compelling examples of interactive content to help you understand what it makes possible. Our goal is also to inspire your thinking in new directions. First up is an example of an interactive infographic created by Twilio to highlight the state of cellular technology for the Internet of Things. This info brief uses some simple but attention-getting animation to highlight key facts and figures. Notice how it makes use of tabs to enable us to drill down into deeper information about specific topics. It even contains quiz questions to test your knowledge. And notice how the screen automatically scrolls down after you answer this question. Excellent information, well presented. Imagine putting on a blindfold and trying to hit a bullseye on a dartboard. Oh, that's what it feels like when you're launching a paid ad campaign. It's like a big shot in the dark. This advertising ROI Calculator from HubSpot asks you to input your numbers for 5 key metrics. Notice how it starts with some average values for each of these measurements. Blank boxes for inputting your data would have been too intimidating. This smart design makes the calculator much more approachable. The use of sliders also makes it much more fun and interactive than typing numbers into boring old form fields. It also enables you to see how changes in one number can affect your return on investment. It's a great way to play what if with the numbers and test your assumptions about your paid ad campaigns. If you're a marketer, this is a very useful tool. Calculators require a bit more work to create, but they can be a very powerful tool for building relationships with prospects. And you ask why? Because it can give them insights they probably couldn't figure out on their own. Next, it's time to blow up the old traditional slide deck and replace it with something much bigger and bolder and more interactive, like this clever interactive presentation. It starts out looking just like another SlideShare deck. Static slides with no moving objects. Boring, is that right? But then the designer literally blows the walls off this presentation. The narrow static format is replaced by a dynamic one that takes up the full width of the browser window. The difference is quite striking. It's almost as dramatic as the transition from black and white scenes at the beginning of The Wizard of Oz to the fantastical, vivid, Technicolor world of Oz. The designer helps us think outside the narrow confines of the traditional slide deck and reveals to us what else is possible by literally blowing it up. The text and graphic animations in the second half of the presentation are relatively simple, but they're very engaging and do a great job of telling a compelling story. They help us rethink what screens make possible and how their unique strengths can be leveraged to tell a more compelling and persuasive story. This unique presentation also helps us realize that new media formats like this one enable us to send visitors down branching paths based on their interests, so we can tell different stories to different audiences. That's not a new concept, of course, but it's a great reminder of what interactive content makes possible. As this presentation aptly points out, predictable never beats surprising. It's time to surprise your target audience. In closing, we'd like to share 2 examples of interactive emails with you. This is something that a lot of marketers haven't considered, but it can make a huge difference in terms of engagement. The first example is from a retailer, which used this message to tease something that's coming soon, a secret project. It does so by sharing 3 clues. When you mouse over the gray clue buttons, you get tantalizing hints of what's next. This email works because everyone loves a mystery. It's fun and it's engaging. Our last example comes to us from the BBC. It utilizes an accordion format to initially hide information that's divided into 5 categories. Clicking on a colorful bar opens it to reveal additional text and images. It's up to the recipient to decide which ones they want to drill down into. It's really a smart way to deliver more information without overwhelming your readers. If you're getting tired of your audience ignoring your marketing campaigns, then it's time to turn it up to 11 with interactive content. This presentation only scratches the surface of what interactive content makes possible. Why not contact us today to discuss your needs?